Do you get it that when your life has asked you to ask for more money over and over and over again, and there is a veritable fortune amassed for you in your vibrational escrow, do you get it that when you're complaining about money, that knot in your stomach is because this very attention that you are giving has you out of alignment with the very fortune that you're asking for? Do you get that? So if you accept that, if you can feel that the emotion that you feel is this precise and perfect, accurate indicator of your point of attraction, then you can begin to do something about it. So let's say that you want something, but you've got this habit of conversation. You've been telling a story for a long time, and everybody around you likes the story you've been telling because it's the same story they tell. So you get together and you tell this story, and it's a story that always feels like complaining when you tell it, but you've got so many clever antidotes now that you've added to it that it's really hard to let it go. So you keep telling the story and telling the story and telling the story and telling the story and telling the story until it becomes a really active vibration within you, what we would call a dominant vibration. You would call it a belief. A belief's just a thought that you keep thinking, but we're wanting you to start thinking in terms of being vibrational beings. So it's just an active vibration. Now, every thought that you've ever thought is potentially active, but every thought you've ever thought is not active. And only if you feel emotion around it is it active enough to be a player in your point of attraction. So those old things that you're not feeling any emotion about, they're not big players. They were active at one time, they no longer are. They're not part of what's calling things to you now. So let's say that you feel often your discouragement about money. The discouragement is an indicator of the vibrational variance between the fortune that's waiting for you and your thoughts of holding yourself apart from it. We really liked that choice of words, did you? The feeling of discouragement is such a lovely indicator of the vibrational variance between the fortune that is amassed with your name on it and your current stance or habit of thought, which is holding you away from it. So you feel this negative emotion, but you don't know what it means. So you don't do anything. You don't know that it's guidance saying this thought is going to hold you right where you are apart from what you want. You think it's just negative emotion, and you've learned to accept it because after all, life is hard, yes? So you allow the negative emotion within you and you don't do anything about it. And we say, don't worry, it will get bigger. Because the source energy part of you consistently calls you. And not only that, every time you have a life experience which causes you to ask for more, the stream moves faster and faster and faster. But when you beat the drum of those old habitual thoughts and you don't let yourself be a vibrational match or even move in the direction of what you want, you get tenser and tenser. That's why we say, don't worry, it will get bigger. The stream moves faster, you're going to feel more negative emotion. And the interesting thing is that the more you live life and the more you hold to your old beliefs, the more life causes you to put more speed in your river. And so the more those old beliefs are hard on you. So don't worry, it will get bigger. So then there is a manifestation. Something big shows up in your life as a result of this tension. Could be a bankruptcy, that's on the subject of money, but it could be a physical breakdown, which is also on the subject of resistance. So whatever it is, it got bigger. And now you have a manifestation. Ooh, a real life manifestation. A diagnosis in your body or something. And what we want to say to you in a way that you will really, really hear it, know it, feel it, and benefit from it is that manifestation, big, bad, and awful as it may seem to be, is only an indication of vibration, period. It's not a death sentence. It's not a proclamation of how good you are or bad you are. It is not anything more than just the extension of indicator of how you've been offering your vibration. You don't go to the gas station with your indicator on your gas gauge on empty and have a sort of emotional meltdown, putting your head on the steering wheel. I had so hoped for more. It's just an indication. You don't say to the man, I just bought this car yesterday and I've loved it so much. It cost $85,000, but it's over. Instead, you fill up the tank, you see. And that's what we're saying to you. The indication, even if it is someone has diagnosed you with a terminal illness, or even if your heart is broken because someone that you adore is not with you for whatever reason, as you stand in your now with this manifestation, just know that this manifestation is only an indication of vibration. Then stop and dissect it just a little bit. And here's the way we would do it. We would look at the manifestation and we would feel the way we are feeling within it. And then we would say, this feels like this, and we would describe it. And then we would ask ourselves, is that a familiar emotion? And as you realize, oh, how familiar that emotion is, I feel that way here and here and here and here and here, then you will show yourself. You had indicators, you didn't do anything about it. You had indicators, you didn't do anything about it. You had indicators, you didn't do anything about it. Now you've got another indicator. And usually now you've got this manifestation. Now you're willing to do something about it. And we think it's lovely. We call it post-manifestational awareness. And really, friends, and we don't mean to mock you at all with that. Of course, it is lovely when you get so in sync with your emotions that you can feel when you're not letting yourself go be who you really are. It is such a wonderful thing when you recognize that you could find a thought that feels a little better. And in doing so, you could release the resistance. So as you beat the drum of what you do not want, you cannot become a vibrational match to the money that you have asked for and the money that is waiting for you. Oh, you are so good at your physicalness. You are mostly vibrational beings and you don't even know it. You are vibration eternally. And in this expanded physical version of you, you are so very good at interpreting your time-space reality through your physical senses, which are interpreting vibration. That's all they're doing. You see because your eyes interpret vibration and give you this visual feedback. So you are so very good in your physicalness that you have forgotten that you are vibrational beings. And so you begin over time to play the game in what we see as a very weird way. Instead of knowing that you are a vibration and tending to it, and sending out the signal that you want law of attraction to match, most of you don't tend to your signal at all. You just look around, deciphering life with your physical senses, and offer a rather sloppy vibration, we love you very much, all over the place. You let what you're observing be the basis of why you offer the vibration that you do. So you see things that you want, or you see things that you like, you offer a vibration about that, and law of attraction brings you more of them. But when you see things that you don't like so much, and you observe them, then law of attraction brings you those too. And what most of our physical human friends have forgotten is that you are a vibrational being in a vibrational universe, and law of attraction is managing the whole of it. And when you emit a signal, the signal that comes back to you matches it. When you set your tuner to that vibration, that's what law of attraction must bring to you. It is law. So we want to give you another view of this powerful law of attraction, which is the manager of all things vibrational. And since all things are vibrational, then law of attraction is the manager of all things. So you get it. You've been hearing about law of attraction. You're beginning to understand that those who think most of poverty are living it. And the reason they think most of it is because they are living it. And it's hard, we know, to think about things that you aren't living. And yet that really is what deliberate creating is, isn't it? Those who are talking most and thinking most about sickness have it. Those who are thinking most about prosperity are living it. You understand that. You've been watching your own experience for a while, and you're beginning to understand the powerful response that law of attraction has to you. But there's another part of you that law of attraction is also responding to, that most of our human friends don't think about in this way. So we want to give you the full version of who you are so that you will understand not only how it is that law of attraction is responding to the whole of you, but what that means to you in terms of guidance. We want you to get the full picture of how this all fits together. So here it is. It will be easy for you to remember. So you were source energy before you came into this physical body. Most of you acknowledge that. But it is not that you were source energy and now you are in a physical body. It is that you are still source energy who has projected a part of your consciousness into this physical body. So you are not dead or alive. You are always alive, and the non-physical part of you is always streaming to you. Sort of like you plug your toaster into the electricity and you never say, why doesn't the electricity come and be a toaster? And we say, the electricity is the current for the toaster. So in your physical bodies, we love you very much. You are the toaster. And the source energy part of you is like the current that is always coming forth. It's a wonderful thing when you recognize that. But what we really want to say is, so what? So what if you missed those clues? So what if you didn't remember? So what if you were born into a family who didn't encourage you to be emotional? So what if nobody cared how you felt and they just sort of run roughshod over the top of you and forced you to do things that you didn't want to do? So what if there are things in your life that are not the way you want them to be? So what? Here you stand with the potential of offering a vibration that law of attraction will match. So what has been doesn't mean diddly squat, and what is doesn't either. What is does not matter. It's only an indication of vibration. That's all it is. It is only an indication of vibration. And since you have the power to change your vibration right now. So can you change your vibration from one of sickness to one of wellness right now? No, not really. But you can move in the direction of it little by little by little by little by little. The knowing of your empowerment feels very different than the disempowerment of fear around an illness. And you're not going to make that jump all at once, but you don't have to. Even if it has manifested into something that is big, bad, and awful in your body, you still don't have to do it immediately. You have plenty of time. It doesn't take that long, a day or two or three or four, even if it takes a month. When you know what you're doing, when you know what you're reaching for, when you know why you feel what you feel, when you know what your emotions are, when you know that they're just playing off the two parts of you, and when you know that this part of you, this bigger part of you, this longer living eternal part of you, this part of you that law of attraction has been responding to much more powerfully than this part of you is fabulously well and fabulously clear and fabulously vital and fabulously wealthy, fabulously everything that you want to be. And when you know that, and you start listening for the call that's calling you toward it, and you stop doing those things you do that don't let you go toward it, you begin to gradually and consistently close the gap. As Jerry and Esther are traveling from Phoenix to San Diego, they don't get out there in the middle of the desert and argue with each other about whose fault it is that they're not there yet. And even though all those miles across the desert, they're not where they really want to be, they're not unhappy in the moving along, because there's plenty of wonderful things to experience along the way, and they know they're going to get there. And that's the thing that is not present within so many of you relative to your journey from sickness to wellness. You're not joyful along the way because you keep taking score. You keep demanding that you be there now, be there now. Give me a drug, give me a surgery, give me something that gives me instant manifestation. And we say, it doesn't work that way. You've got to stop demanding that circumstances around you change so that you can have a better feeling response. And you've got to begin evoking within yourself a better feeling response, which will then be the indication that you've changed the vibration, and then the circumstances must change. It is law.